Hi, it's Mike Kelleher here. Decided to do a little video here showing the Truabutment workflow for the Planmeca system. This is a really cool way to get implants done, very simple and easy, as you will see here. Okay, so we're going to set this up just like we would set up a crown. So in this case we're doing tooth number 3. You really don't necessarily need to have the library and all this business in there, but you do need to have something in there for it to allow you to go over to the scanning portion of the software. You are just going to be exporting STL files, so no need for that. So we're going to get 4 different scans. We're going to get, in this case, an upper, so the prep arch, and we're going to want to scan all the soft tissue around the implant. So we've taken off the healing cap and scanned that, and make sure we get our proximal contacts all picked up and the adjacent teeth. So that's what we're looking to do in the upper scan in this case. If you're doing a lower tooth, it would be the lower, but whatever arch the implant is in is going to be that tissue scan. Then we'll just take a regular opposing, so in this case the lower, just as we've done. This is done with the Emerald S. And we're going to skip the buccal bite just yet. We're going to go down to this new in version 6 scan body tab. And what we're going to do is get a scan body that we've gotten from Truabutment, and we're going to place that in, and we're going to capture that scan body. So we'll use Time Saver, and I'll show you this in some scan video how this works exactly, but we'll capture that scan body. The really critical parts of that scan body to capture are these flat portions. So you want to make sure those aren't tucked up against the adjacent teeth when you orient the scan body. These just screw in. Very nice little scan bodies, plastic tops with a metal collar. And then you're going to grab the buccal bite the way you normally would. You will not probably be able to have the scan body in. They'll be too tight, but that's going to be fine. Okay, so here's some scan video of this case. So as you can see, the healing abutment's off, and I'm going to go ahead and scan the adjacent teeth. I'm going to scan into the sulcus where the implant was, making sure I pick up that as deep as I can to allow the lab to design the emergence profile of that abutment. And we'll go through and we'll get our scans for the rest of the teeth, make sure we get those proximal contacts. This I'm using a slimline tip on the Emerald S. I don't have active delete on right now. I will turn active delete on at a couple spots here to get rid of that tissue excess that we have around the second molar. So the active delete just came on, so I'm kind of cleaning some of that up. And as you can see in version 6, when tissue is disconnected, that dark blue, you don't have to erase that. That's going to just get taken away automatically by the software. So we've got our scan all done for the upper. Lower, pretty simple, just regular opposing scan here. And you know, don't have to go crazy with this, but you do want to make sure you get some tissue beyond the teeth. That will help that buccal bite align very nicely. And again, I'll turn that active delete on here to get rid of some of that excess tissue, minimize how much you have to do with trimming with the eraser tool. And I still will. I've got a couple little excess spots there. I just erase those away before I generate the model. And the only thing in this video I've taken out is just the model generation steps. I've clipped those out, but otherwise this is actual speed. Okay, so here we're going to go to our scan body portion of it, and it's going to ask if you want to use Time Saver, which you will. Copy it over, and then I'm just going to erase out the area where the implant is. And I've already in the mouth placed that scan body, and now we're just going to simply add the scan body into the scan body scan here. So that's just a pretty quick and simple thing to do because you've already captured the tough stuff, which is proximal contacts. So we'll go ahead and just get started on an adjacent tooth and come around, grab a scan body again, and paying real close attention to being able to get those flat surfaces on the scan body to make sure those are captured. And that's really probably about all we need to do to get that captured in. And you can, if you need to refine things, come back and get a little bit more of your proximal contact or something. I didn't really need those spots, but you know, want everything looking pretty. Okay, so now we've got a nice captured scan body. That bumpy stuff on the lingual, that's actually the lettering that you'll see. And so that kind of freaked me the first few times I saw it, but it is not a bad part of the scan. It's just the lettering kind of shows that way. So we'll go ahead and generate that. And then just a regular buccal bite here. Again, making sure we've got some tissue helps align that. You can see the healing abutment is back in place. There's plenty of common structure for the buccal bite to grab, so we don't need to have that scan body in this case. Wouldn't have fitted anyway, way too tight. So again, generate out the the occlusion. And here, I'm sure everybody's learned about Refine the bite alignment. That's a really good tool. You can see how that will fine-tune that bite alignment for us. And so now we're going to go ahead and export this out to send up to Truabutment. I've already on the desktop made a little file folder for this patient. Well, in this case, I just called it implant case, but you put your patient's name on it. And we need to export those 4 files that we saw. So we can go to 3D model export. You can just select just the STLs or all the files. It doesn't matter. You're going to kind of navigate to the folder that you've made on the desktop or wherever you put it, and then it'll export out. This happens pretty quickly. It doesn't take very long for the files to export out. And then what I'm going to do, I've already in this folder, I've got all the STLs, and also the PLY files are in here as well. They don't really need them, but it doesn't take that long to export them. Also, we've got a PDF prescription for the lab. And so here I've just gone ahead and filled this out. You tell them obviously what kind of implant it is, patient's name. You can pick what the contour you want for the implant. I tend to use this middle abutment one. That's kind of my default. Seems to work out pretty well. You can do cement or screw retain. Yes, screw retain, the mill will just mill out of a regular block, the screw channel. You can also do a gold hue on this if you want to anodize those if it's an anterior. You can do an angle screw channel. You can also do zirconia if you would like as well. So all that's in that file folder, and now they'll set you up with a Dropbox shared folder, and you just simply drag and drop it up to the Dropbox. So I'm not going to drop this one in because I don't want to send the case again, but you just drag and drop it. They'll explain that all to you and get you set up. And then you'll get these photos back about a day later showing the design, and you can approve this, ask any changes to be made, but typically they do a very nice job at the design of both the abutment and the crown. So you get your STL file comes back to you for the crown, and all you've got to do now is just import that and mill it. You don't have to do any design, so you're going to go back to your patient's folder, import for milling, and you'll navigate to wherever you've saved that STL file. I usually just throw it on the desktop, and we'll go over and grab that. And so just navigate over, in this case, to the desktop, find that STL file, and I put it in that file folder. The STL file, it'll have a different name. It'll have your patient's name on it when it comes back from Truabutment, but in this case I renamed it. And then we just hit done. And then what's going to happen next is it's going to open up the CAD-CAM portion, PlanCAD. It will open it up to the mill screen. The only thing you have option to do here is sprue placement. You can't, the color of the material doesn't really matter. They've set this up essentially as a veneer so that it will default to detailed. They typically, I'll see these come back, and they're very nice STL file. I will move the sprue usually because typically they put it dead buckle or dead lingual, which I don't like to have my sprues there. So I'll bring it out to a point where it's somewhere off angle. And then what we're also going to want to do here is to do a mill simulation on quality mill simulation. So if you go up to the gears on the upper right hand side, you're going to come over to the right to your mill sim and click quality, and then hit save, and then go ahead and do your sim. What this is going to do is give you a much better, and it's going to default to detail mode, so it's going to give you a much better simulation of the, and I sped that up. That will it may take a minute or two for that to happen. But when you're looking and make sure there are no little fins or protrusions or anything that is not going to mill correctly. If that is the case, then you may want to play with different sprue positions so you get everything looking right. I do occasionally get these, and there will be little protrusions that we'll want to mill. And you can select a block, send it off to the mill, and mill it just like you would. It's going to mill it in detailed. You want to mill it in detailed. Don't try to default it off. It'll come up a little bit better in terms of the fit. Just hit send and off to the mill, and then stain and glaze just like you normally would with any other crown. You can have this done before the abutment even comes back. Typically I'll get these back from the lab about a week or so after I've sent them out. So here's all the contact information for a Truabutment. You give them a call. They'll help set you up an account. Let them know you're a Planmeca user, and they will make sure to get you set up correctly for our system, set you up with a Dropbox account, and they have all the scan bodies. You can get them online, or you can call and order them. They have them for all the major manufacturers, different platform sizes and all. They're pretty inexpensive, only about $25, so very, very affordable scan body and a very nice scan body as well. And these cases, the custom milled abutments are running a little over $200, and that includes everything, shipping, the design. So it's a really, really nice way to get your implant cases done. So I hope this is helpful, and any questions, get me on Dentaltown or on Facebook. Thank you.